Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to MRC Take 2 Tier 2 this week in at Singapore, one of the most challenging tracks, and one of the best qualifying sessions we're going to get all season long as well. Cutting to the chase, I'm with Mark tonight, my Tier 1 teammate, sorry. How are you doing?
I'm good, my friend. I am good. Yourself?
Yeah, good. I'm glad that we're finally online.
Yeah.
Because,
At least it's
yeah.
not as bad as the technical YouTube issues we had last week.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was, that
Thank
was.
goodness it's not.
Oh, you had a hard one there, didn't we? It was
Yeah.
wasn't fun. But no, we're here, and yeah, like I say, we're Singapore, we're under the lights, which a difficult street circuit, very quick street circuit, one where precision is paramount, isn't it?
Oh yes. Well, here's a prime example. This corner here, you want to go as close to the wall as you can, and not go beyond the white line, which isn't something you often have to do in a street track. Usually, it's the wall limit, not the white line. But we're with KG right now, coming up to the final two corners here. You want a slight lift in the first part of the corner, and it's a 29.1. That's a good banker, 29.2 basically. Who do we have coming up? It is Jackster, one of our Dutchmen. We've got quite a big contingent from the Netherlands in this league, and he's coming up to the final corner. What time does he say? It's a 30.4, so it's good banker again. We do have a Mercedes coming up. It is Colin. He's won the last two races, I believe, so definitely keep an eye on him as he sets 29.4. I'm trying to have a look. Is it Moritz setting it up? No, he's starting it up, actually. Let's go on board with him. And no. Oh, he must have... no, he finished it. Sorry. Yeah, 30.5. I would expect a bit more from him as well.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks where, it takes a couple of laps just to... we see this a lot, don't we? The track evolution around the street circuit is massive. Getting the eye in as well is huge because people who have done different types of practice, whether it's family time trial or the practice sessions we do, and of course they're just practicing running with higher fuel, and now this is of course full on attack mode around here. So it's just working out these first laps, where you brake, where the grip is, the acceleration, how does the front end feel, and yeah, I think that 29.1 from KG is a very good lap. Colin only 3.5 tenths behind. I think we're going to see a lot of people in the 29s, but I think we are going to see 28s.
We are, yeah, definitely. I'm expecting a 27.6 maybe from Ben tonight. I saw a few guys set some very, very good times, very close, and just below the 27 mark. So, expect the top times in Tier 1 to be that quick. So I'm definitely expecting Tier 2 to reach probably a 28.4, 28.5 as well. We've got Laupi in the final sector coming up to turn 16. You need to take quite a bit of curb here. Same on this corner. Get as close to the wall. Don't bang it too hard. Just enough like George Russell. And what does Laupi set? The Red Bull man, it's a 31.2. Who else do we have on that? We've got Smith as well, trying to complete his first lap time. We've got just under 12 minutes left of the session. 1/3 of it has gone by. So coming up to turn 16 as well, he takes a little bit more curb, I think, on the exit. Leaves a bit more space on... more curb on the entry, leaves more space on the exit. It's a 32.4, so yeah, just keeping it steady as we've got Maverick in the wall on medium tyres. Chris hasn't left.
Turn 2, he must have lost it, gone quite hard in turn 1, and lost it through there. So difficult one. I don't know if he'd finished a lap or maybe just looked like he had on those mediums. He's just joined, one of our new joiners, and he proved himself very quick in practice the other night.
Oh, Thomas Tolley has spun in the final corner. What can Airways do? He's one of our top drivers as well in Tier 1, but he's still, nearly 8 tenths of a second behind KG, so quite a bit of time to find. KG's got a really good cushion here.
Yeah, he does at the moment, absolutely, and we've said this multiple times that Tier 2, it's very tight. There's a lot of fast drivers here, and it's very close at the top. We're just going to have a look at 7 of you in. Looks lovely. Martin said it's all dry this evening. Something you would expect.
Which isn't good. I didn't want to hear that.
I know. Yeah.
I wanted some rain because I don't want any rain in Tier 1.
Yeah, that is very true. Very, very true. Monster saying he's disconnecting his radio before leaving. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a high downforce circuit, this one. I mean, a few drivers now with it's about 40 RS zones now, and people are running a little bit lower downforce than they used to. So it's going to be interesting to see who tries that and attempts that lower downforce setup. And yeah, it's a bit of a balance around here, isn't it? Because you need to keep the tyres alive, and it doesn't half hurt the right-hand front more than anything.
I still think it's a near maximum downforce. I've not tried lowering the wings just yet. I'll probably try in my 5-minute practice window I'll get after commentary. But no, it's as you said, you really need to protect the tyres. For me, it's more the rears that I struggle with on this track. And yeah, what helps you with that when you hit tyre wear is downforce. It's just clips the inside wall, so that lap he will forget about. Smith has started lap as well, actually. One of the early ones on their second set of laps.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We're seeing a few drivers trying a second run on their tyres, which I do think works and can help around here. I think it's one of those that it do seems to work. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, the thing with this track as well is that it's a confidence track. So the more laps you do in qualifying, the more you can, as long as you don't make mistakes, the more you build that confidence and believe that you can throw it into corners, just like George Russell did in that amazing qualifying lap he did. The first one was incredible. The second one was quicker, but it's that first one that really stuck with us as Smith finds half a second. So into the 31s for him. And he is back in the discussion to fight for the top 10. GTS Drag King is not on a lap. We do have Maka on the lap though. Oh, and he's hitting a little bit of traffic. Colin has invalidated and KG has improved. Just a bit like George Russell. It was very marginal. I don't know how much he improved by, but
I think that's about 3,000.
Probably, yeah.
I think it was a 9.6, not a 1.93. Yeah, that's a lot of traffic coming out of turn 5 there. We've got, I think, a couple of drivers on laps, a couple of drivers just sort of out the way. I think it was Flatty's coming through 5, so it was Jackson who goes wide at 7.
Oh, yeah, he does, yeah.
But this is a street track that you mentioned it about the white lines. There are a few places with the curbing and things that you can invalidate quite a bit round here, and you can get it just slightly wrong trying to take too much curb, especially when the tyres start to go off. You try to take an earlier turn in because you think the front's going to slide, and then it just suddenly grips, and that's sort of where those track limits can come in quite severely almost.
They can. I had a practice race on Friday. I got 6 seconds, so that gives you an idea of of how bad it can be.
I got 3 seconds quite quickly, and then I was on 5 warnings, I think. By the end, I think some of them were just very silly. I think trying to get out of the dirty air, take a different line. And that's it, because of the dirty air around here. It's so difficult, and we saw on, of course, the real race that it is very difficult to overtake around here.
Flatty goes up to P3, finds half a second.
500s ahead of his teammate.
Yeah.
So another good showing so far from the Williams boys once again. Who's on a lap? Bits just starting a lap. Single tracked and validated. He's really not well, unfortunately, this evening, so fingers crossed for him that he manages to race. GTS has said that he's not well, but according to general chat, we're not buying it. I wasn't going to buy it.
Well, he is in P8 right now, so still doing well, considering he's a Tier 3 driver. It's all going very well for him.
It is, absolutely. Yeah, it is. And very good driver. It does very well. He does reserve Tier 2, and I think he's done a Tier 1 a couple of times as well. So yeah, he's one to keep an eye on. A couple of our reserves. We've got Bailey, G-Star, Armour as well, reserving this evening. But yeah, there's a few gaps. There's a couple of places very close here in so far in the session, but quite a few gaps as well. You know, we're talking almost 2 seconds between first and ninth at the minute. So it's about, you need that space on track, don't you? You need that clear run.
Yeah.
And it is so busy, especially sector 3 now. It's just finding that gap that you need, get the tyres in the right window, and then just having that clean run, be able to spot your braking and pick your braking as well. So yeah, it's going to be.
We've got Thomas Torner in P12 coming up to the final corner.
Yeah, Carl's
he does find
16 went straight on, and I think he's lost part of his wing.
So gonna have to go back to the pits.
Yeah, he's got time to get in the pits and then get a new wing and come back out. Try once more. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's missing half a front wing.
So we've got Chris in P8 right now. He's steadily improving this season. He's finding his confidence again. Yeah, getting a few good results. I think he got a P5 at one point, I think, as well, P4 maybe. So things are looking like they're on the up for him. Airways, P5 right now. So he's got 4 minutes left in this session. He should have enough time to finish this lap and go for another one. Oh no, he's going to the pits. Okay, he's gone to the pits. Moritz has just started and he's gone purple in the first sector. So that just means that within the range of P5 to P9, he should be the quickest in that sector. So we will see in about 20 seconds where he is in the middle sector, as he stays very far to the left in this twisty section going over the Anderson Bridge.
Yeah, and Martin actually in the YouTube chat has just confirmed what I was saying, that he's struggling to get a clean lap in. Currently in the pits, he'll have time for another go, and fingers crossed for him. So Chris has done a lap on the hard tyres, or it might have been the Inters he'd set the lap on, which is fine. It's tier 1, he's allowed to do that. G-Star, I know, does quite a few laps on the soft tyres, which he has done, but invalidates, so he doesn't actually set a lap, so he just gets his eye in, which always worries me, because he does this every week, and then I think, great, he's normally someone I have to try to fight
Moritz
get against.
Up to P3 now, he finds nearly a second.
Yeah, and that's a clean lap there. That's a really good lap time. So I mean, that just shows how good KG's lap was. Who was actually going out for a final run. Yeah, that's for Maurice to find a second, clean lap for him, and let's see who else can do the same.
We've got Flaherty leaving the pits as well as Colin and KG. KG is coming up to the final corner, so he's starting his lap with 2 minutes and 39 seconds left. Let's go on board with the current pole sitter then. Into turn 1, you want to take a bit of curb here. Ooh, whoa, he's taken much more than I actually do. Okay, but that wasn't as steady as he would have wanted to. He might have lost a little bit of time going into turn 3. He extends really well, but he extends a little too much actually, because the track's gone red. He's invalidated his lap. So I don't know if he's noticed it just yet, because he's using his ERS. Let's go on board with Colin then, the man in P2, challenging KG, but goes quite wide here. So the exit is okay. Yeah.
But he's okay.
Gets quite a bit of rotation into turn 5. So uses plenty of energy on the Raffles Boulevard, I think it is. So he's a 10th up. It's not enough just yet, but if he carries on at this rate, he could qualify close enough to KG's time. Takes a lot of curb here as well. That's a good exit. Goes to the middle to swing back to the right and takes an incredible amount of curb there. Keeps the car steady as well into turn 12. Turn 11. Good exit there. You can go closer to the wall to try and get the steering as straight as possible. He's 3/10 up, so things could work out really well for him here. He's got a bit of traffic though. We've got probably a Williams just ahead, so he'll be hoping that he doesn't get too much dirty air.
Yeah, that Williams looks like starting a lap. I think it might be Jackster.
Yeah.
So Jackster's going to have to get a shuffle on to start his lap, which I think he is, but that's going to hurt Colin through the final 2 corners.
It's looking really good. And it is. It's good enough.
Wow.
And KG has got no energy left. Did he actually... I think KG tried to qualify on that previous lap, but he invalidated. So
possibly, yes.
He's got no energy left. He's at the start of the lap, so he can't improve. Flaherty then in the middle sector, coming up to turn 13. You want to get as close to the wall on the exit, which is exactly what he does there. Really close to that Pirelli wall, and let's go on board with him. Brakes just out of the 100-meter mark, and was a bit too close to the wall on the exit there. Had to slow down a little bit to get the rotation, and that probably cost him a 10-2. Let's see how he fares in the final two braking zones. Gets a steady exit, but sometimes steady isn't fast. So when you're in P4, you want more than that. Does he find more time? He finds 3.5 tenths, so it goes up to P5. Who else do we have? We've got Airways crossing the line, going up into P3 on a 23.9, just ahead of Flaherty. Jaxter's in the final sector, but lost a bit of time.
Yeah, he was 3.5 tenths up in the first sector, coming over the Anderson Bridge. Big slide has cost him all of that time, unfortunately for him, because he was on what could have been a very good lap as well. Macca's up by a tenth.
Yeah, he is.
The second sector.
I think he'll be the last one to actually improve, because Jaxter was way down in his time. He improved. Macca's half a second up. So half a second right now is a 29.7, so he could beat Jaxter, but if he finds a bit more time, could get up to P5. We do have Thomas Hornet crossing the line right now. He is 4 tenths slower though than his own time. So let's just go back on board with Macca, because he should be the last driver to improve. Really takes so much curb on the entry there. Goes up to P5, so it is a 6.5 tenth improvement. And single track has invalidated, so that is our grid. Colin takes pole position this week again. He took pole in China, won in China. Took pole in Singapore. He could be the favourite for tonight. Actually really close again. We've got 2 drivers in the 29.1s, 2 in the 29.3s, 29.5, 6, 7. And the top 7 is really close. I think a few drivers have probably underperformed. I was expecting a little bit more from Chris tonight. 30.6 for him. So, he's in the mid-pack right now, and that's definitely not where you want to be in Singapore. So, but a really good qualifying session for Bit. He's in P10.
Is that? Yeah, he pulled that right at the end. Yeah, right at the death there, Carl. He hadn't said a lap time, was struggling, and got that clean lap, and exactly what we're saying. That it really is about that lap at the end, and full drivers, big improvements as well. Difficult one for single track, unfortunately. Andrew just behind his teammate as well there in 13th. So and you said you need in that mid pack, and this is where it's very difficult round here. It's potentially a 2-stop strategy around here. Some people, I'm sure, will still try to make the 1-stop work, but
So let's go through the grid just once, and we'll start talking about the strategies. We've got Colin then on pole with KG and Airways in P3, Flaherty, Macca, Norritz, Jaxter, Lau, P, Nels, Bit, Thomas Hornet, GTS Drag King from Pete and tier 3, Andrew, single track, Smith, Chris, Maverick, G-Star, Armat, and Vance. The two Irishmen and Northern Irishmen in P19 and 20. Okay, so strategies. You were talking about the 2-stop strategy. I'm not so sure about that, mate. I'm not so sure about that. I think it's too expensive a pit stop around here.
Yeah, it is a very small pit lane, and that entry to the pit lane, even the exit, they're so tight, so narrow, avoiding the inside walls. So you're right, you are. I do believe it, but I think with the being a street circuit, the chances of that extra car on track is it's there. It's a very real issue, if you want to call it that. But then it could also bring opportunity for some drivers. So I think but then we've seen this before, and we've all said this in the commentary booth, where we say, right, okay, big chance of it tonight, and then it doesn't happen.
So let's hope we've positively jinxed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because this is already a very long race.
It is. It's a very difficult one for everybody. It's 31 laps, and you don't get a break. Even down some of the DRS straights, there's not really a break. It's not they're not very long straights here, so you are setting yourself up for a very important braking zone that if you miss it slightly, you go deep. They are difficult to make a corner. There's of course those track limits as well, and the walls are ever present. So, especially if you're in the pack, then I think that's also where people need to. It's a very strategic race.
Yeah,
I would say around here.
Yeah, you need to be patient, not go for the desperate moves, because they're not easy. As you said, it's kind of short, straight lines, unless the car ahead of you doesn't have the DRS. Sorry, it's going to be hard.
It is, yeah, and I think you really need that overspeed and the battery usage to be able to use that DRS effectively and have that chance of an overtake. That there aren't big gains that we see in other circuits necessarily when it comes to the DRS, and if you because it's a street circuit, there's a lot of braking zones, heavy braking zones, that the chance to recharge the battery is quite high. So from that, then people can save it and defend at will. I had a few battles in that practice race, and I don't know if either my wings were too high, personally, or the driver I was battling with really saved their battery to defend in those DRS points, which really helped them, and I really struggled to, but I didn't get overtake, I don't think.
Yeah, it is. You've got to think of many things, and that's where the strategy comes into play. You can go for an early pit stop and get a few positions if you're brave enough, but then you're going to have to live with the consequences of pitting early and have a stretched second stint, unless you do go for the two-stop strategy. But what gets me as well with the two-stop strategy around here is, you said that the pit entry is a bit awkward. The pit exit is really awkward as well. It's very easy to try. You've got to try and respect the white line, whatever, on the exit, and it's really hard because to do so, you've got to be really close to that wall on the left-hand side. So you can just clip it with your rear tire and end up spinning around, just exiting the pits. So that's a risk I don't want to take twice. I have to. It's mandatory to do it once. I don't want to do it a second time. So that's something that people have to take into account as well. It's a very awkward pit lane. I'd say it's probably more awkward than Abu Dhabi, because at least Abu Dhabi, you come out in the corner, but you're on the outside. Here, you're coming up straight to the inside, and if you've got another car coming up next to you, I think we saw that in yesterday's race. There was someone who came out, I think it was Alonso, who came out just behind Hadjar, and Hadjar came overtook him on the outside or something. It's not easy to do for either driver.
It's not. You need awareness from both. People watching the radar or the mirrors, and then of course the driver on track watching the driver leaving the pit lane. Of course they're going to want to push to make that overtake as a driver. Then of course leaving the pits, cold tyres, needs to push past. But awareness and respect is absolutely paramount.
I'm just logging into YouTube on my computer. Oh, okay, so the 5 minutes are over. Let's have a look at the strategies. I was displaying them just before. We do have someone who's trying something different and isn't a higher tier driver. It is Maka in P5. He's gone for the hard tyres. So I think he's hinting here at definitely a one-stop strategy for him. If you're starting on hards, I think you're just trying to take them as long as possible and see how things pan out. And the guys around him, they could try many different things. Moritz is definitely going to try and overtake Maka at the start with the softer tyres, trying to get an advantage on the line. But then, as the race goes on, you're going to be stuck behind the hard driver. So there could be a gap forming between the guys at the front and the hard driver. And then how early do you pit?
Difficult. That's it, yeah. And also it's difficult to. It can be difficult to, once you're out of that DRS trade. Sometimes it's beneficial because you can brake when you hit your markers and when you want to brake and have that flow and the focus. But then, the gaps can just keep going because the DRS trains will help push each other along, which you don't have. But I think you're right with Macca. I think, you know, those on the mediums, I think they have the more open strategy in case there are any early stoppages, shall we call it?
Yep.
Then, which would
timeouts.
Timeouts. I like that one. Yeah, I like that timeouts. Yeah. So yeah, that could really make a difficulty evening, Manu. Lovely to have you, everybody else. So all 17 of you, please do hit the thumbs up button. There's only 5 of you so far, so come on, hit the thumbs up.
Yes.
And the like button. If you haven't followed already, please do ring the bell. 5 times a week we go live. And I'm looking forward. This is going to be an unknown race, I think.
Yeah, many things can happen in it, as much as nothing as well can happen. It's one of those races. It can be chaos or full order as well. I guess we'll soon find out. And one thing that's really weird. Oh, Bit has not. Well, he might not have his driving license, so that's probably why he can't park. But yeah, we've got KG being so aggressive on the start. Let's go on board with Fatty in P4 in Williams. As the 5 red lights are now out, and what a start from KG. Doesn't get a good second phase though. He's catching up and goes to the inside. Let's have a look from the helicopter view. And KG staying to the inside. Good exit from Colin there. And we've got Airways trying to put pressure onto the top 2. As KG goes really wide and compromises his exit. He's in the DRS, in the slipstream of Colin. Goes to the outside and he's not going to be able to make the move here. He's not close enough. And, but he's trying to go for the switchback here.
Too tight. It can be done.
And he does get a good exit, but not get quick enough. A lot of fighting here in the top 2. It is a fight for the championship with these guys. And whoa, KG is really giving it a go. Wow.
I thought he was going to go for it. I thought he was going to have a send. But yeah, that's GTS and Andrew both having a fight. Oh, Andrew very wide.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Doska.
No, that was GTS Drag King who hit
GTS,
the wall.
Now Andrew back through. Trying to see if there's any damage on either of those Aston Martins. There isn't, so we're okay with that one. Difficult start for Carl, down to 13th. Single tracks okay at the moment. Let's have a look. That's position change for myself. And yeah, Andrew up 2. Thomas on it up 1 as well, with Carl losing out at the start. But everyone's sort of about where they start, especially the top 9, all where they started on the grid. So yeah, all clean, good racing there. I thought KG was and Colin, that was very much respect. I liked the fact that KG was trying different switchbacks, couldn't quite do it. That was strange. I thought Flighty actually ghosted there, but he's not now. So Mac, a good start on the hards.
Yeah, that's a very good start.
Yeah, very important. Jumped the first corner a little bit. That's easy to do. So hopefully he didn't get a warning for that one already.
The first lap was always going to be the biggest challenge for Macca, and he's only stayed 7-8 tenths away from the car ahead. So now he's got the tyres kind of warmed up. They're only going to get better from now on. So he's gone through the hardest bit for him in this stint. But Maurice has momentarily gone out of the DRS range of Macca. Got back into it right now. And it's going to be a bit of a waiting game from here on for everybody who's in this train. The first car, which isn't in the train, is Smith in P15 right now, the highest driver. Macca's teammate. So maybe he'll be trying to just assess how these mediums go and give some information back to Macca.
Yeah, possibly. And I think, Vans as well on the hards, just trying to ease those in as well. They're only 1.5 seconds off, so I think, Smith's bits now just dropped as well a little bit. But I think Smith and Vans could probably start to close up soon. Difficult start for Maverick as well. But of course, the 3 at the back have pitted, Tier 1 drivers. But yeah, I think at the minute, it's sort of... who was that? Why, there's a big collision somewhere. I'm sure I saw somebody spin. Who was that? Oh, it was Thomas Hornet.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, turn 16. Oh, it's happened. I don't know if he's got damage. That was a rubbish camera.
I didn't see damage. I can't see any damage.
No, so I don't know if he was involved in something at all, but down to 16th heartbreak. But hard work for him, but no low damage at all. Hopefully it hasn't hurt his tyres too much, because any kind of spin, doesn't it, when you're recovering from that, just lights the tyres up momentarily, and you lose quite a bit of feeling for about half a lap or so, don't you? It takes a bit for them to come back in.
So, crucially, last lap, KG could have gone for the overtake, didn't. He was getting very easily alongside Colin, but got out of the move. Just thought, okay, let's keep the status quo. We've got, crucially though, Laupi in P8. He's 1.3 seconds behind Jackster, so Jackster's the last car in that gaggle at the front. We do have yellow flags after turn 9, so I don't know what happened there. I can't see damage on anybody. Maybe single track, actually, because he's down into P16. And he was higher up, because he was just behind Bit earlier on, and I'm wondering if he's got any damage. Let's try and see on that Mercedes.
What would be a fantastic helicopter cam, but right now that's not helping us at all.
Exactly, yeah.
Good, great camera. No, he seems to be okay.
No, he's fine, yeah.
Thomas Hornet, 3 seconds. What was that? That was exit. Oh, funny enough, that the corner we mentioned about I can't remember what corner numbers they are. I think about 14. Where you mentioned the white lines and just got a little bit over those.
Yeah, that is 14. So KG's taking the lead this time round. It's still quite, it's all strategic. Being in the lead right now doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean, KG's the favourite now to win. If you were managing to pull away, you'd be able to read into it. But right now, Colin is fighting back, going to the outside, doesn't go for the move, but you can see it. It's all hanging on a thread. There's a lot to play for. We've only completed 3 of the 31 laps. We're 10% into this race. So don't read too much into the current standings. Flatty, Maka, Laupi's dropped 0.4 of a second back from Jackster on this lap. So he's still got good rhythm, because he's pulled away from Nels and GTS Dracking and all those drivers behind. But he's in a bit of a no man's land.
Sorry to interrupt. Andrew and GTS still fighting, the 2 Astons, but this is where they need to start working together. GTS didn't get the DRS that time into 14, but which Andrew did. So, but GTS, I don't know. It's a difficult one with those boys at the moment. But we'll see how that unfolds. They need to work to close onto Nels, because Loppy is dropping a bit of time now to the top 7.
Yeah.
So they need to really be pushing on to look to close that and start making some moves. Andrew gets 3 seconds well on the last corner. But I think one of the people at the minute who's probably going to be happiest, I would say, at this after 4 full laps, is Maka in 5th. Hard tyres. He's been able to bring those in, and he's still, they're all half a second or so apart. So I think he's probably the one who will be okay. I think he'll be the calmer one at the moment. I think the person who's probably going to be more at the ragged edge is probably I would say the top 2 or 3. Of course, trying to break away, but also try to save some of those tyres, as we've been talking about. So as GTS has got through on Nels, so I made that move. Which was important, so I got a good run through the first sector. And now this is where, we talked about the difference in the stops and of how you look after those tyres. Yes, you're right, on the strategies, the 2-stop was the second option, the 1-stop was the main preferred strategy. So you'd want to take these, 15 laps or so, give or take?
15 it's difficult, 15. Ideally, if you can, 15 is lovely, because you're going to have much fresher tyres for every single lap till the end of the race, and it is a long race. So it's and Nelson's hit the wall there on the back straight. That was very strange, because it's a straight line. But if you can take it 15 laps, there will be more suffering for 1 lap, but till the end of the race, you'll be feeling that much more confident on your tyres. So it depends how much of a misogynist you are. If you want to suffer a little bit to feel better later on.
Some people might be
15.
Who knows? I know Chris. I'm actually looking at the other Alpine. Chris, he's lost an M plate. On the other Alpine, he's struggling a little bit at this moment in time.
And I'm interrupting you because we're in P11 right now, and Andrew is making a move. Whoa! And how did he do that? He lost the rear on the straight. That was so strange. His rear completely went. So Andrew has broken his front wing. That was so strange.
Yeah, he did. So I was actually watching that back.
Sorry, go back to what you were saying, sorry.
No, it's alright. No, that's a real strange one for Andrew. And damaging his wing quite badly. Lost half of that front wing. That is going to be horrible for him, and just such bad luck for him. And, that was a move that was on. We couldn't see if Nels maybe came across, gave him a tap which caused that. We don't know, of course.
Could have, yeah.
On board. It seemed to look like it went a little bit with a correction. Then, I don't know if there was contact because of the correction. There could have been. And then that's what's caused the secondary spin. But I mean, he was lucky to do a full 360 and not face the wrong way as well. So, but yeah, hopefully he keeps his head down and can push on. Because it is a long race here, and anything can happen.
Yeah, and whilst you were talking, Moritz had left the DRS range of Maka, but he's right back into it. And someone who has left the DRS trainer here at the front is Jackson in P7. I don't know what happened to him, but he's dropped right back down to Laupi, who was losing time to the front pack. So now, the two Dutchmen are back to fighting together, the Red Bull and the Williams. And GTS Drag King, as sick as he may be, Tier 3 driver, he's in that fight to get to P7.
Yeah, GTS seems to have decent pace. He got through on Nels, and there was a couple of second gap. About 2.5 seconds, and he's closed that down. Not sure what happened with Jackson. Maybe a mistake somewhere. Of course, because round here, tiniest mistakes, missing an apex, and then of course you have to really slow down quite a lot to not hit the exit wall. Then that can cause you quite a lot of pain really, and lose a lot of time. And then of course the momentum as well from the cars behind. So Jackson, I think had that error. Moritz again just slightly dropping out. Of the
he's
top
lost
5,
out DRS. Yeah,
he has. Yeah, but GTS has this lap really closed in. He is looking very quick at this moment in time.
Yeah, he's definitely joined them. He was outside of the range, and just trying to show us what you can do. Going to the inside of Laupi, just showing himself in the mirrors. Won't go for the move just yet. He's a bit too far away, and especially Laupi's got some DRS as well, so it's not going to be easy to do. Maka as well, trying to find some free air a little bit on the some clean air. On the inside. And right now, he should have the better tyres. Yeah,
he should do. And you're talking about Lobby and GTS just trying to go in the mirrors a little bit. And I know from pretty much every race this season, when I've not retired, I've been battling with Lobby, and it takes quite a bit to put that man off. He is we've had some very, very good wheel-to-wheel battles this season already, and it takes a lot to put that man off, to be honest.
He's definitely a very solid defender. He usually goes for slightly higher top speed setups as well, so it's always a challenge to get past him, that's for sure.
Don't I know it. 2 weeks ago in Baku, I definitely felt that, 100%. And to be fair, I was battling on Friday, and the same thing again. So, he's still one to watch as the race goes on. If he can get through on Jackster, see how it goes. So he could score some good points this evening.
So now though, that group with Jackster has dropped back to 5.4 seconds. Sorry. A gap is starting to form between the top group. Maybe what could save Jackster is a little bit of an early pit stop for him. Still a bit too early unless he wants to go for a two-stop. As you mentioned earlier on, the strategies were mentioning pitting around lap 10 to 16 for a first pit stop. So we're soon approaching that.
Sorry about that. Monster stayed out with his half a front wing. He now actually does pit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he lost quite a little bit of time. I don't know if he got a little bit wayward. That lap he got down the track gap. Now that's from Bit to Smith, about 10 seconds. So that was Andrew, unfortunately, with that damage. Hopefully he does get the replacement wing, which he does. Hard tyres for the Aston, so hopefully he'll be okay to the end if possible, and free air as well for him, so he'll hopefully be able to push on now.
Bit makes the move into P10 as Nels decided to slow down a little bit more on the inside. He knew that Bit had the advantage. That's smart driving. You may as well leave the room instead of fighting it and losing time to the car's head. He's got a penalty as well, so that's smart driving there from Nels, knowing that he's got to stick with Bit to increase his chances of scoring points tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I say, there's 3 drivers on the 3 seconds so far, and this is, again, we're not even halfway through the race at the minute. We're only about a third of the way through, and
yeah, that's the scary thing.
To be honest, wow. But yeah, everyone just seems to be sort of just minding everything at the moment. No one, I don't think, like Colin Airways and that group are really looking to make that overtake. Well, it feels like it, but either that or KG really strong on that wing level and the traction as well, and able to defend. And I'm sure Colin's got the same helmet I do now I'm looking at that. He's got very similar to me. But,
let's get on board with Colin now, because he's only 0.3 of a second away, 4/10 now. He could go for a move here. Oh yeah, he's very close.
Yeah, it looks like it does. A lot of battery left. Goes right inside that Andrew did. Yep, now makes that move. Yep, good move. But top two, well, actually a few of them.
KG missed his braking point there, and he hit Colin into turn, what is it, 8?
Yep.
So yeah, we could see that later on in the stewards. And Flaherty, who was in P4, has ended up in the lead. What? You don't. So Flaherty's up there, and KG has dropped back to let Colin back through. That's I'm not sure I'd do that. I'd probably just submit myself to what the stewards decide. But yeah, he decided to drop 5 whole positions. Fair play to KG.
Yeah, I've seen him do that before, actually. He's very fair with that, and he does hold his hands up with that. I'm sure Colin will still be a bit annoyed, I'm sure, a bit miffed by that, but I know that Kingsley does, he owns up to his mistakes and errors, which is great.
He does.
That's it's going to be interesting to see what those two now do in regards to trying to pull back, because now they've closed into, they've got Loppy and GTS there now as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that then plays out within the next couple of next lap or two. And of course, if Colin's got the tyre still because he had to spin round, just see how their tyres are feeling, because we say 11 laps, they're not going to be feeling the best as Nels is pit.
So what would you do if you were Colin right now? Because you've dropped 4 seconds behind the group, so you're not going to be at the same pace as them, probably a little bit quicker, but you want to close that gap. Do you go for a two stop?
I think what I would look at doing is just seeing how the tyres feel at this point. If they still feel sort of the same as they were, and if that 4 second gap, if I can start to close that a little bit. If I start doing that still, then I know my pace is still there, then I may look at just staying and staying out and using what the tyres that are left. So I think I would be monitoring and really focused on the feeling that the tyres are giving me in braking points, in traction zones, and just seeing if that gap can start to close a little bit. And he has closed to 3.2, so he's closed at 7/10. And if you've got that pace like that, then you think, okay, that mistake happened, but I potentially have a bit of pace to close back up to what would be maybe undercut territory or same pit stop territory, and not lose out too much to those drivers in front. So I would just be monitoring this lap maybe next and seeing how it goes from there. But that gap is ebbing and flowing just a little bit at this moment in time. So yeah, the next lap or two, see how it feels, and then okay, think right, if I'm thereabouts, I'm not closing as I want. Yeah, potentially look at making a move as Carl into the final corner got through on GTS. I don't know if GTS made a mistake somewhere, maybe turn 16, 17. Still got his front.
Or maybe Bit is just driving like a god. Maybe.
Well, there is that. There is that.
He is in a McLaren after all.
Absolutely, he certainly is. So that'd be interesting. 3.4 still. I'm going to keep an eye on that gap. The K Jackster just seems to be struggling for overall pace. Him and Loppy they were very close after that incident, and now they've dropped back to about 2.8, 2.9 seconds. So Yeah, it seems to be the top six have got a lot of pace in their tyres right now and overall speed.
Yeah, we are soon approaching this first pit window. We've got Adonis Hornet back in the pits. He's having a hard time at the moment, isn't he? He's been driving well, showing the right attitude to go to the end of races, never give up and everything, but he's not getting the luck. In China, he got spun around, given space, and this week, again, I don't know what happened, but ended up spinning as well and already pitting a second time on lap 12. It's lap 11 actually for him. Not going in his favour at the moment.
No, you're right. It's not, and you're right. He does have the right attitude, absolutely, 100%. And Chris is a stand-up guy, and he will always do that as much as he possibly can. I think because, as you mentioned, you can get. I mean, I know very well that you can get fed up with bad luck. I had a lot of it last season, and some of it already this season. But I think this is a track where we've said how difficult this track is, and it is so tough. So this is almost one where you can sort of shake it a little bit and go, okay, didn't work, difficult track. A lot of people don't like this circuit, but you can either shrug your shoulders, just wipe it off and come again next week, potentially, as we are starting to see a few pit stops. Colin KG came in. Flaherty came in as well. Flaherty came in perfect. He came out perfectly, didn't he? There in 7th with a clear track ahead. That's worked really well. Difficult for Colin and KG. They've come out behind Armour, Smith and Vans, so they're going to have a tricky time. I think trying to get their tyres in and utilising that fresh rubber. But now it's going to be interesting to see what Maritz Airways start to do as well in response to Flaherty, especially pitting, and Jackson there as well. Maka as well, see what pace he's got. Of course he's on the hard tyres. If he's got any underlying pace, and if he can extend a little bit, and of course that undercut is going to be really difficult for him. We've done this. That was.
I'm enjoying this. A lot of fighting though between Colin and KG. I only caught the end of that, and KG has overtaken Colin. It looked like a very aggressive move. Both were
10 seconds. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier on as well. Tricky entry. So yeah, that cost him. He'll be hoping for a safety car later on to try and serve this penalty and get back in the group, but it's going to be hard for him. So Flaherty then, how far ahead of Airways has he come ahead?
Yeah, I was just looking at that actually.
1.7 seconds.
Yeah, so that one lap in clean air really helped Flaherty. Quite confident there on the hard tyres. I don't have that confidence, I'll be honest. I'm normally a bit cautious on the opening lap. Don't want to spin them up and have those cold tyres. But yeah, very good for Flaherty. Really good opening lap, and I will just look to push on to the back of Bit up there as well. And it's going to be interesting to see what Maritz does as well. Wow! As I cut to him on the Anderson Bridge, 4-wheel drift around the exit. Oh, that would have been a heart in mouth moment a little bit for him, but yeah, that's it now. To see where he comes out, because you've still got Vans there behind. Well, to be fair, you may come out around the KG mark. Those have pitted, so that's going to be difficult now, I think, for Maritz, and see when he looks to pit. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's this lap.
I think he's going to stay out as long as he's in DRS range of a hard tyre driver. I think he's got to stick with him.
Yeah, he just about was.
And as well, so Flaherty pit on lap 12. We were talking about lap 15 earlier on being difficult, but 12 is very early. 12 means that he's going for a 19-lap stint. So either he's going for that 19-lap stint, which is very difficult to do, or he's going for a two-stop.
Yeah, but I've just looked at the lap times, and Maritz did a 36.9, and Flaherty was 2 seconds quicker this lap, and that's his second lap. He's got the heat in them now, and yeah, he's going to be looking pretty good now. I think he'll look to close that gap and really put Maritz under a lot of pressure, as we've seen. With that lap has really made a big difference. As the undercut strategy working very well there, but KG 3 seconds. Yeah,
3 seconds, and he has pulled away from Colin, so every cloud has a silver lining, but he's going to have to find another second and 2/10 to make sure that he's 3 seconds ahead of Colin. Moritz, though, I think he's lost DRS, and he has. So we could be seeing the Sauber in the pits on this lap. I'm hoping for him, because otherwise he's going to be dropping a lot of time. Let's just see on the exit of this corner. Yeah, he's already dropped about 1/10 of a second from Maka. That's just one corner. So yeah, and he's dropped to 1.7 now, so he's going to have to pit right now.
Yeah, Flatty now was 20 seconds, as I mentioned, now 18 seconds, or 2 seconds already quick when he does pit, was Moritz. So yeah, maybe a lap too late potentially, but you know, as you said, he had the DRS, and now it's those tyres are just gone for him. So it's going to be interesting to see where Airways comes. He's closed a little bit to Flatty. So I think Moritz potentially, I'm going to keep my eye on Moritz. He's now moving down the pit lane. So
Airways is giving it everything.
He is. Coming down the start-finish straight, and does get through, I think, at this point. Yes, he does. So Moritz should be dropping behind Collins. Yeah, he does. Yeah. But he's got 3-lap pressure tyres, and I can tell you that 3 laps actually do make a difference around this track. Sometimes it kind of, how's it called? It gets lost a bit, that extra performance in tyre wear. But it really does stick around on this track, and you can expect Moritz to really hunt Colin down, maybe be behind him within 2 laps. Yeah, I think you're right there. We've got a difference in the strategies there with those top guys. We've got Flaherty, KG, Colin, 3 laps they've used on their hards. Airways just a lap later, and now, as you say, we've just seen Moritz. So that, I think, with the gaps that have formed, it's going to be interesting to see how that then will start to close up, as you mentioned, with the difference in the wear, and as this race goes on.
Side by side into turn 10 between GTS Drag King and Laupi, and whoa, bit of contact into turn 12 as well, or turn 11, I think. Nels gets a 3-second time penalty as well. It's hard driving between these two guys. The fight for P10, despite having a penalty as well. Yellow flags. Is it Nels? No, it's Chris. So Chris is trying to find a lot of data, gathering a lot of data about the track.
To be fair, that rear is now sliding. I think he's definitely got rear wing damage. That Alpine is not turning, not putting any power on it. So difficult one for Chris. I think you're right. We'll be doing a bit of data finding, trying something a bit different, see if it worked, and see where he goes now. But I wasn't surprised to see Chris parking that Alpine up because that rear damage.
I'm surprised Mac has already pit.
Oh yes, he has.
He's pit on lap 16. He's going for a 15-lap stint on medium. So of course he's going to be quick right now, but you know, the hards are still kind of fresh, so the delta isn't going to be as big as that, and it's going to fade away. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, I mean, he did a great job in that first stint, sticking with those. Oh, Nels, 10 seconds for corner cut. I wonder where that was. But yeah, that's it. You know, you're right there. It's going to be quick now, and he did a great job in that first stint, keeping with the medium tyre runners. But yeah, he didn't seem to be able to extend, and I think those on the fresher tyres were closing in quite rapidly, so maybe he chose to stick with them and hope that he can look after his tyres towards the end.
So they got Airways caught up to Flaherty, so these two are definitely staying together, and I suspect that they will probably be wanting to work together for a few laps, just to make sure that they're far away enough from KG and Colin, who, well, from qualifying, have showed that they're quicker. Maybe not in race trim, we don't know. It's very hard to say when everybody's in the DRS train. But right now, yeah, they've got 5 seconds over KG, who has a penalty. Colin is about 8 seconds away, sorry. So, yeah, just work a little bit together for a few laps, trade DRS, and which is not what they're doing just yet. But they can create a bigger gap.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right there. And Flaherty goes very deep into turn 8. As Airways got the drive, or is Flaherty going to try and hold it? Tried, couldn't. So yeah, this is it. That's where these two do need to push on now and see what they can do. They've got to the lap car of Chris as Flatty goes very, very deep. So Flatty maybe just pushing a little too much at this point on his tyres, not being able to bring them in as he would have liked. But it's, as I say, look, 8/10 now to Airways. So Flatty maybe just a little bit rattled by that, but needs to get that focus back once more, and as you said, work those two together, because KG now that was 5.5, it's only 3.5 now.
But maybe the collaboration might come to an end, because Airways is trying to pull away by over a second. He's 9/10. I think that Flatty might have lost DRS. I'm not sure if it was just yet. He's just lost DRS.
So the detection point is it just before, is it where the pit line is? I'm not actually sure.
Have a look at the map. It's where that green dot is after turn 17.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Never knew that.
Yeah, green dots are detection, and yellow points are speed trap.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Ah, well.
So
something
1.2 seconds then for Flaherty, the gap to Airways. And yeah, Airways is just going to try and pull away right now, because KG's found a little bit of time over them too after they were fighting through a few corners. And yeah, looking good for Airways. Airways, who won the first race, was it, in the Netherlands, and hasn't won since. So he was looking like a very, very firm favourite for the title. It's kind of gone away from him since then. But round 6 out of 14 could be the right time to bring that fight back to life.
Yeah, he certainly does. I'm just having a look actually at the results. They Airways did win, you're right actually. But yeah, he's had a few difficult races. Was down in like 14th in Italy. Then I'll try to work out how we work these points here. So it's
how many points?
He had 2 in Italy, 16, which I think was 3rd in Australia.
That's 3rd, yeah.
11 in Baku,
that's
and 9
P5.
in China.
And that's P7.
Yeah, so consistently top 10 apart from Italy, which was Monzas, but still up there. He's quite close. He's 63 points, 15 behind KG. Maka currently in 2nd on 3 points behind Colin, who's leading the championship. So there could potentially be some movers and shakers this evening, but Flaherty looking very strong at the minute. He's tied actually with Airways. So that's battle for
I forgot about that.
A championship. So there's quite a few people in the points at the moment who look to score some good points. Loppy up there as well. He's currently in 8th. He's in 6th in the standings. He's quite a way back, I'll be honest. He's 25 points back from the top 5. Is Loppy.
Okay.
But then it's quite close behind him as well. So we've got Moritz in there in that battle. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of points being shared out here, and I think quite a few people moving around.
This is a little bit sounding like a 2010 championship fight, where there were still four drivers in the fight. Round 21 was it back in 2010? I can't remember how many races there were. Probably 20. But
yeah, I think we were still in the teens then, weren't we?
Yeah, and it's only round 6. Okay, so it's bound to be a bit closer than after 19 races. But it's good to see that so many people are still so close, and that one race can really change everything. These two guys being not these two being 25 points behind the race, the championship leader, and they're in P1 and P2, so they'll be closing that gap quite a bit. KG is still catching up a little bit and creating a gap over Maka as well, so that gap's only going to be increasing now. Maka has got 4 lap old medium tyres, so they'll be starting to feel a little bit light on the rear end. They'll still be feeling okay, but a few doubts will be creeping in sometime soon.
I'm just looking at the constructors as well,
Yeah.
and we've got the Racing Bulls 12 points ahead of the Mercedes. Mercedes currently scoring a couple more points, I think. My maths isn't very good. Than the Racing Bulls, but then Haas are tied in second with Mercedes, so they've got 2 points, 2 cars in the points as well, and the Williams as well. They are fourth in the standings, only 3 points back again. So they are also looking very strong. But Airways and McLaren are only on 90 points. The leader is on 112. That's not a big gap. And of course, Airways, currently where he is, Bit in 10th as well. Currently, as it stands, some good points at the minute up for grabs, as I say.
Yeah, and Bit is on quite fresh tyres as well. He pit on lap 14, remember? And we've got yellows into turn 7. But yeah, Bit pit on lap 14, so he's got 2 lap fresher tyres than GCS Drag King. And yeah, 1 lap fresher than Laupi, so expect him to make his way up as, yeah, he's a consistent driver and looks after his tyres nicely, so he's already got an advantage. It's only going to get bigger towards the end of the race with him.
Yeah, I'm just watching Moritz at the moment, and he's closed the gap to Colin. Not this lap, the lap before. He actually set his fastest lap of his personal best lap, so yeah, he's pushing on quite well. Actually, when I look at those laps, just double check I'm right and not making things up. But yeah, he's really pushing on quite well. Actually, it was a couple of laps ago now, so his lap times are pretty good at the moment, and a few drivers quite consistent within half a second or so of each other, just finding out where the grip might be. Even Mako actually on the mediums is sort of lapping similar pace to those cars around on the hard tyres.
Oh, Mako's going for the move on the inside of turn 10. Very brave, and he's completed the move. Cage's stayed behind. Yeah, he tried to go for a move into turn 7 at the end of the first DRS straight, and retirement for Nels. Okay, that's in the pits, that's okay. And yeah, went a bit too deep into the corner, so yeah, it was really slow on the exit, and KG went back through, but Maka pounced just a few corners later, and is trying to pull away 7/10 of a second right now from KG. And
as you say, I think it's going to be an interesting one. As you said, everyone pitted very early, and it's going to be interesting to see who can make these hard tyres last. But Maka 5 lap mediums, that's going to be hard work as well.
Yeah.
They may not feel. They'll feel okay, they'll feel consistent, but I think the hard tyre runners at this point are still going to be a little bit more favourable, I should say, as we've got Colin and Moritz actually closing in on this little battle with Maka and KG. So we're going to go back to a 4-way battle soon, I think. But Moritz is looking very quick. Of course, the fresher tyres for him, he stayed out about 3 or 4 laps longer. So
is he going for the move here? He's going to the outside. He's ahead and completes the move.
Great
Colin gives him space. That's all good.
Yeah, very good. That was a great move, very respectful as well, and from both, Moritz holding that round the outside, heavy braking, and you've got to get that right, very much so, because that exit curb as well. If you jump over that, then you're could be in a world of pain, a bit of a skateboard moment. But yeah, very respectful from both of them, and yeah, Colin on the inside, too much of a tight line through there wasn't able to hold it, but yeah, very good racing.
KG is going to start to feel the heat right now because the car behind him has got 3 lap fresher tyres. We were talking about that earlier on. Moritz was suffering a little bit for a few more laps. Went to lap 15, holding on to DRS a little bit from Maka ahead of him. And, well, it's paying dividends now. Lap 23, he's got 3 lap fresher tyres than the guys ahead of him. And you can expect him to close that gap slowly but surely. And yeah, he's got Colin already, and KG's got a penalty, so it's going to be hard for KG here.
It is, but Moritz is in that too. Well, he's 2 seconds dropped a few tenths off the last corner, but he's going to be in that dirty air scenario where if you're really close, like Colin is, as KG is to Maka, they're in a scenario where you find yourself underneath the dirty air where it doesn't seem to affect you. You've got more of a slipstream effect than the dirty air effect. Where Moritz at 1.5 seconds flatty to airway is actually about 1.8. Seems to be where the dirty air is at its most prominent. So this is where Moritz needs to use whatever he can in the middle sector, the slower corners, to get the traction and the braking right to be able to close through those stages. I would say there is a car that might have been Smith. It was, I think, with a brief yellow flag, but it's okay now. Andrew got another 3-second penalty. I think that's 6 for the Aston man, which it is. So GTS currently in 8th, the other Aston Martin, they were fighting early on. Jax has still got that 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, don't forget.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So that's going to, I think Jackster will probably want to try to make it to the end to minimise that 10-second loss. But, anything can happen. We've still got, plenty of time left.
Going on board with Colin now. P6 right now, and he's just behind Moritz, trying to give him the hurry up. Just staying behind him and making himself very, very threatening.
Yeah, because Moritz hasn't really closed this lap as Colin now joins that 3 second, just a little bit much in the final corners. But yeah, Moritz is in that dirty. Hasn't really closed him. KG must have made an error. He's dropped. He was under the rear wing of Maka. But to be fair, that was about a 5-second gap. And this is where I think the dirty overheating the tyres, pushing too hard, the understeer is hurting, because Flaherty now dropped to 2 seconds behind Airways. Maka has closed that gap, but he'll start to feel it soon, as you've rightly said, with the medium tyres. Be interested to see if he can take it towards the end. There's a Red Bull, I think.
Yeah.
It was Maverick, unfortunately. Difficult one for him. He's just letting that's the leaders, I think it is, going through.
Well, Rich is going to be loving life right now, because all the drivers around him have got penalties, so he's got much less pressure on his shoulders to deliver. He's just got to follow and get a free P4. However, he's also got the tyre advantage over the next car, which is Maka, and he's only 2 seconds ahead. About what is it? 2.5 seconds. I meant between Maka and Moritz. So 6 laps left after this one, and he's already got the better tyres than Maka. So he'll be able to close the gap to Maka, and maybe, just maybe, hunt down the top 2. You never know with this tyre advantage. Lap 12 completed lap 13 completed for Flaherty on hard tyres, and we said he's going to have to do 19 laps. It's going to start to feel like a real challenge on the rear tyres for him.
Yeah, it will for KG as well, and Colin. I think you're right. This is where that Moritz you mentioned. You said 3 laps was the lap difference. You said, and look at Moritz all over the back now of KG. This is, I think, going to be a done deal on the run from 4 through 5, 6, 7, I should say, and he does get through.
Yep, easy move.
KG really fought that one too hard, but now 3 seconds to Maka. A bit cleaner air, won't be affected too much, I don't think, by the dirty air. So yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting one. I didn't realise Monster had actually pitted again. He's got 6 seconds, but he's on 5-lap-old hard tyres, so he's all at the back of Dumas Hornets. Makes that move done. So Andrew back in the points. Difficult race for him, hard work, but he's back in those points now. We've got Armour and G-Star who have to pit again. G-Star's done 24 laps. He pitted end of lap 1 as he has to, and now 24 laps on the hard tyres. Will
data gathering.
Absolutely, isn't he just? Wow. I'm actually going to follow him a little bit, see how those tyres look.
They're going to pop.
Curiosity. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point. So yeah, he's going to have to pit, and Armour as well. So, actually, G-Star's missing half a front wing, so that will make it 10 times worse. Armour's battling with single track, but I think Armour will just probably sit there because, of course, as a reserve single track. Doing very well. Said he was very, very ill. He's been sent for a few days actually. I don't know if he's reserving tier 1. Not sure if he will. It depends how he feels. I don't think he's going to feel too good. But Colin KG. Sorry, I was looking further down. That's move done as well. Colin back through on KG. So got his own back now for early on. But yeah, I think single track's got a big gap up to Bit, who just kind of having one of those races that Carl does.
Yeah.
Carl just does what Carl does, and in fairness, we've seen a few drivers. I was looking at the lap times again on my deltas, and looking at a few drivers now with that similar wear, 12 laps for Carl on his hard tyres. A few drivers are looking about 2-3 seconds slower than their best lap times. Carl was only sort of 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 seconds off, so he's very consistent with his tyres, just doing what he needs to do, no penalties. So it could be a very, very strong result for the other McLaren, which will be great points for them in the championship.
That's the thing, especially on a track like this. You can have a very quick fastest lap and then drop off dramatically. Or you can choose to be a bit off your 100% pace. Just drive at 95, 92% of your capacity. Just keep those tyres alive for a bit longer, and that's exactly what Bit is doing. 4.6 seconds behind Laupi, so he'll be wanting to close that gap by about 2 seconds if he can, because if Laupi gets a penalty, he's in the 3-second range. But keeping those tyres alive, staying consistent, that's one way of doing well in your races. But Maka, I'm really surprised by his pace. Because he's still closing the gap to Flatty, who of course is on very worn tyres, but he's on medium tyres as well, Maka. And he's pulling away from Moritz. So, 4 laps from the end, it's still looking good for Maka.
It is, I don't know if Flatty had a mistake somewhere. He was only about 2 and a bit seconds off now, 3.6. I was looking further down, of course, the order, but absolutely, it's very surprising, but really well done. Great tyre management, something he must have been watching you, I think, with this one. I don't even think you would dare this.
I don't think I would. No, it's a bit too early for me.
Andrew closing on G-Star as well, though, 25 lap difference, 18 lap difference in the tyres, and of course those two to pit ahead. So Andrew, he's pulled away from Dumas Hornet, a lot of fresh hard tyres, he'll be okay to the end. So could be a decent recovery for Andrew, so decent points for the Aston Martin boys. But this gap with, as Maka, as you say, about that 2-second mark. Moritz is struggling. He's got, as you say, it's probably going to be a P4, I think, for Moritz at the minute because of the drivers behind with those penalties. It's making a big difference.
He's actually the driver who's struggling the most. I'm really surprised by that, being on the fresher tyres. Dropping back a lot from Maka, and even if the tyres come back to him, he's only got 3 laps to close that gap back down to Maka. So the podium's falling away from him, and Maka, one mistake from Flatty, whether it's track limits or just having a moment, clipping the wall, and he's up into P2, Maka, and he's leading the championship. He'll be leading the championship by even more points right now.
That's it, exactly, it does, that's it. We've seen a few people just go a little bit deep, get a little bit slidey on exit, and that's going to cause a lot of hurt, and it's exactly, as you said, what we've seen with a few people. So anything can happen, and of course, 2 laps to go after this one. So Chris has pitted now for his penultimate lap, which is fine. I think he's nearly a lap, not quite, no, he's not a lap down, I don't think. Yes, he is. This is surprising with some of this tyre wear, and some of them just really managing this one stop really, really well. And those drivers who did pit later, Maka and Morita found themselves back up there, but the hard tyre seems to be quite resilient at this point.
And one driver who's also doing really well with his time management and pace, it's GTS Drag King. He's in P8 right now, the tier 3 reserve. He's on more worn tyres than Jackson, and he's still closing that gap to him. Might complete an overtake as well, and he'll try and go as far to the front as possible, because he'll only be behind KG, who's in the title fight, which is pretty impressive for a tier 3 driver.
Yeah, it certainly is, absolutely. And Jackson, like I say, 10 seconds of penalty, that would drop him, I think, to about Bit, give or take. It's going to be quite close. Depends how those do, if they can close towards the end. But GTS, looking very quick at this point, managing his tyres very well. I don't know if Jax has got any damage. I don't think he doesn't on the Williams. So just sort of trying to get it home, really, isn't it, at this moment? GTS doesn't have to make the move because the difference in the... but I think he's going into turn 1, late on the brakes, and he does make the move, so he is through.
Sorry.
So GTS is through. Now we've got, just about. Jackson's going to have to watch that gap with Bit, actually, because that's just over the 10-second mark, but very, very close indeed. So I'll keep my eye on that one. Andrew's through on G-Stow's I don't know if he's pit yet. I don't know if he has. And then Armour is still the last one to pit end of this lap. But Andrew, yeah, could be a good recovery. Should be 12th place for him. But yeah, looking back through, yeah, that gap at the front, you know, Maka hasn't made that closed that gap too much. But yeah, done very, very well on those medium tyres, extremely well indeed. Oh, still there's another lap to go, mind.
Yeah.
But,
we do have yellow flags.
Got past. Yeah.
Okay, it's just Chris letting people through, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. It was. Yeah. But yeah, I think. Sorry, going back to that, I think Airways has driven fantastically well. He was patient in the first stint. Was clinical in his move over Flaherty as well, and pulled away. So really did well. Had some great pace, especially in the second stint. So it's been a fantastic drive from Airways this evening.
Yeah, there are quite a few good drives, different strategies as well, which is always nice to see. Quite a few people have had a really good race tonight.
Yeah, certainly have.
Okay, d'accord.
I thought you saw something then. Is Armour tier 1?
Oh man, it's tier 1, of course he is, yes.
Yes, he's still on lap 30, so he's pitted a few times, so he's going to pit, I would imagine, this lap, which he does, so yeah. I was just wondering, because I was flicking back and forwards, and I got lost of who crossed the line then. So to be fair at this point, I tell you what, Bit is just, and I mean just, within the 10 seconds of Jackster. So this is going to be nip and tuck towards the line of who's got the overall pace, that final bit of speed, if Bit can steal another point off the Williams, who is still fighting. And nearly wasn't fighting. That's hurt Jackson massively. He got a big spin. He was all over the back of GTS and a massive slide. So yeah, that's going to cost him big amount of time. But near in the end, the final couple of corners.
Yeah.
Is Airways.
No safety cars. He's already celebrating, faking a pit stop. So yeah, Airways winning in style around Singapore, with Flaherty and Mako completing the podium. We've got Moritz, who went for a very late pit stop and drove well, but probably lost the tyres a little bit. KG coming in P6.
Retired over the line after the session. I hope that doesn't hurt him, because it does. Sometimes the game goes, nope, you're off. Yep,
it does, but you've got me going back to the results anyway, and I think it's what I'm going to have to do.
Yeah, I know. We do tell people not to do that over the line, so Kingsley should know better. But anyway, So
Bit got P8.
Well, it'll be P9.
Oh yeah, sorry, P9, yeah. Already getting confused.
Over 10th as well, so that little slide that Jackster had, I was watching, really could have cost him that extra. Well, has cost him that extra point. Great for Milby 11th for single track, so that's fantastic on his second race back, and I think he's suffering with like food poisoning. I think so. Difficult for him. Mr. Morn is going to finish in 12th, which is a good recovery for him. That wing damage, that very strange spin that he had when he was battling Nels. So I think he'd be relieved with that, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, considering everything, I think he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, he will. Armour's letting Smith and Vans through for those points. Armour's actually trying to get in the pits and allow Dumas Hornet to get the final point, hopefully. So Dumas Hornet, it was a difficult race for him. Very difficult race for Chris, but yeah, we'll.
But same as last week, he got points. He got 3 points last week to go to the end. Got 2 points this week. So again, we said that last week. It's the kind of mentality we want to see here. We want to see people going to the end of races. However hard it may seem, if you retire, you get no points. If you don't, you might get points. So credit to Chris once again this week, and hopefully he'll be a bit luckier next week. This is our podium then, and race winner, fastest lap, all that good stuff. Let's just go through the grid once more, with Airways winning the race ahead of Flaherty, and just really good pace from Airways tonight. Maka in P3, then Moritz, Colin. GTS dragging from Tier 3, going into P7. Laupi, Bit, Jackster, Single Track, Andrew, Vance Racing, Smith, Dumbest Hornet, Armagh, G-Star, yeah, not going to make that mistake in standings.
The other one.
It's only KG, was in P6, I believe. Chris, Maverick, and Nels is the only DNF. So good job, everybody, for not bringing out a safety car tonight. I'm just hoping that, that man driving that extra car doesn't feel like his job is at risk, because we don't want to see him, trying to be overzealous tonight and drive a few laps in Tier 1. Right.
Yeah.
The usual question. The driver of the day. Who is it?
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
I mean, it is a tough one because there were a lot of fantastic drives. People managing tyres very well. Some very good overtakes, some very respectful driving as well. I'm slightly torn. I'll be honest, I think GTS did a fantastic job. I'm slightly leaning towards our winner, to Airways, because he was patient, as I mentioned, in that first stint, and then after that he just, once he got through on flats, he pulled away and was very commanding in that second stint on the hard tyres. So I'm going to lean a little bit towards him.
Airways took the opportunity. It presented itself in front of him, and he definitely took it, kickstarting his, reviving his championship battle, basically. He was 25 points behind. So with the poor results from the guys at the front, that's definitely putting him back into the frame. And I'd like to mention Macro as well. It's not often that we see O'Connor driving well in this league. And he drove really well on those tyres, those medium tyres. There were 15 laps then towards the end, so kept the pace going. I think that's very commendable. So I'd share it between Airways and Macca tonight. Great job by them, and great job by most drivers as well, keeping it clean. And a quick mention as well for KG, who gave the place back after the contact with Colin. Things might still happen to him with stewarding, but he at least showed great sportsmanship. Okay, we've got to the end of this stream. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. That was Singapore in Tier 2 tonight. We do have Tier 1 coming up in, 20 minutes? Yeah, 20 minutes. Yeah. And we'll be hoping that we get to the end of this race, because it's a very long one. So thanks to you, Mark, as well, supporting me tonight.
Pleasure.
And see you in 20 minutes, everybody. Ciao.
Absolutely. Ciao.